Oh, to the garden. It's in New York, sound like we in the garden. Huh? Everybody with a check ain't certified. If you look behind these stage, you see a murder house.
Yeah, what's up? What's going on? You already know how I go, my creatives. It's another edition of Cuts. You know what the Cuts stand for? Culture, urban technology, and sports. Now, you know what happens here. We speak to the creatives, the tastemakers, power players, athletes, techies thereof that are moving the culture forward. Nonetheless, to my left, to your right, what can I say about this woman? Like, I've been in the scene, around the scenes for a long time with this woman. We've been in the trenches, movie premieres, covering artists, listening parties, listening events. I've seen her behind the scenes like a point guard, like, yo, son, go ahead. Nonetheless, I got event producer, media personality, journalist, and creative director. I got Silvy right now. We ain't gonna call it Silvy. King Silvy in the building. What's good, son? King Silvy.
Hi.
What's going on, Silvy?
What's up?
No, I can't complain. I'm happy that you're here. I ain't gonna lie. Real talk about creatives. You know how we do a story time here. Definitely hit her on the DM. I was like, yo, son, you want to pull up to the Cuts? Culture, urban technology, and sports. What's up? Let's chop it up. She's like, you know what, Remo? I got you, son. We here. We here.
Yeah, I appreciate you thinking about me.
Nah,
I feel like that's all. Sometimes people forget, like, you know, this can be a conversation too. You know what I mean?
Yes.
As opposed to us just interviewing other people.
No, correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And shout out to NWO Sparrow. We kind of talk about that behind the scenes. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I expressed to him, I said, yo, man, if that would happen amongst us,
yeah,
you know, you could get better narratives. You could get our culture to get the better value. You know what I'm saying? Regarding, like, I get it. The entry level is low. I get it. The bar is low to enter, get a camera, get light or whatever.
Be in a space,
mic, and be in space. Cool. But the thing is, for us, the ones that have put in the work, that have put in the pain, you know, get each other on each other's platforms. I feel it's imperative. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I want to know from you, like, in your journey, in your career, like, what do you feel were things that could have been of better collaborations, or for that matter, that could really spice up the value for our culture and media?
Ooh, right now, I think the easiest answer is to say, like, link with a streamer, right? Because everything is entering that space, like how influencers kind of infiltrated our media space. And not to say that's a good or bad thing, but, you know, you'll have like artists doing red carpet interviews, or like somebody has a lot of numbers. Now they're like covering, and they're kind of taking up space that journalists and media professionals were doing. So I think like the easiest thing is to, like, if you can't beat them, join them, right? So just linking up with streamers, getting into streaming, you know, however it looks, whether it's like going live on YouTube, going live on Twitch. But I don't know. I think other collaborations is just like getting back to the old goodie, where it's just a lot of think tanks, like people of similar professions coming together and like having like panel spaces, workshops, mentor situations, and just kind of like reaching back down and pulling people up who don't see room for them in this new climate, and letting them know, like, yo, you have, or you can get skills. Like, let me kind of hold your hand and give you what I know, so that you could make the best decision for yourself in this space.
Right. Now, that's what's up. I mean, for me, I've always felt for years that because technology infiltrated at a huge clip, right? Now people have succumbed to, like, all right, well, you know, I'm just going to let technology handle it. And then from there, it's like, where's the human connectivity? Where's the actual, you know, the wherewithal of knowing a person, or for that matter, willingly doing your research to get the better narrative? And I think also, too, what's happening is because now it's easier to control your narrative. Now, you know, just like you said, you know, you have actors that have a platform. You have athletes that are now in the space and having a platform, which I find funny and ironic in the same token, because it's like now you're seeing them clashing now. You know what I'm saying? Like as of late, like with Ocho, people have issues with Ocho, Acho,
Shannon.
Acho and shit like that, and Matt Barnes, they're clashing, and the Whitlocks and the Stephen A's are clashing, and it's like, damn, what happened to that line? Like there used to be a line at one point, and now it's like all over the place. So it's like, for us that are in this now, it's like, damn. All right, now how else are we going to control the narrative? Or for that matter, do we go to the goofy side and argue amongst one another? Or do we like keep pushing the narrative and the envelope to try to preserve the culture? Like, what say you?
Yeah. Well, I think what was missing, or what's no longer there is the mystery, right? So athletes always wanted to kind of be in the entertainment space if you don't already consider sports entertainment, right? So a lot of times they wanted to get into or did get into artists like music, like, getting on a mic and rapping like Shaq and Kobe, or getting into acting, you know what I mean? So they kind of they've kind of like inched and made that like known that was something that they were interested in. I think we're in a time now where it's like you have to accept that everybody has access to a mic, right? And it's not just them, it's their team, because this is how you can market yourself quickly. There's this thing called clip farming. Like people are looking for clips because that's like the new rollout, like going viral and having some random person find like 10 seconds to 30 seconds, maybe 60 seconds of whatever interview or whatever piece of work that you're doing, clip it, put a random caption. Now they're doing a thing where the caption doesn't even have to do with the video. Like they can literally clip something of you sitting right here and then be like, Trump is blah, 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 blah. And it's like, now people are watching it and they're watching it on repeat. Like, did I miss something? Because the caption says this, but is the video incomplete? You know what I mean? So I think that I don't know, there's just so much going on that we're overwhelming the algorithm. We're overwhelming the algorithm and again, media professionals, there's no going against, right? We need to do more of preserving our authenticity of journalism, of like writing something out, you know what I mean? Like, even though people might not want to read anymore, but preserving that and like keep like pushing that forward. Like they've been trying to get rid of I think it was USPS. Like they're trying to get rid of paper and pen altogether. I feel like, so if that's something that we like and that we feel like is a part of our brand or a part of just our culture as media professionals, preserve it, keep doing it, push it, like encourage others. If you have an opportunity, it might not be your lane per se, but you know somebody else that might fit the bill, like put their name in the hat. Like, why not?
Yeah, I think also too, it's a catch-22 within our culture today. You know what I'm saying? Like, as you're saying, yeah, should I bring somebody up? But then you have that purist within the culture that's like, I don't know. I might have to be selective. You might have to stay. And I get it because at the end of the day, it's like, just like you're saying, you want to preserve the culture. You want to preserve the value amongst, what we're doing in this profession, and it's like,
but you definitely have to do both. Like, even if you want to stay a purist, if you want, like, it just depends on what your goals are and like, what do you see for yourself? What do you feel like is success? Because if you want to be seen and reach more people, you could still have your lane, but maybe like dabble here. Some people don't care. Like, I don't necessarily care to do too much. You know what I mean? Like, right. I feel like there's some people whose talent, like, it doesn't matter how much time goes by or what is it that they're exactly doing. Like, the talent is just so obvious. Like, you can't deny it,
Right. Yeah, no, and that's the thing too. It's like, because I have conversations with some of our peers and everything like that, and the main caveat thing is like, how much more can I, push my exposure, or for that matter, what are ways that I could take advantage of my, of my brand or my lane and everything. And for me, I've always stuck to, that. You know what I'm saying? Like how much more can I push my lane? How much more could Remo approve, be accepted? In that regard, and because the field is large, you know what I'm saying, and the challenge is not only just about content. The challenge is really about separating yourself from the pack.
Yeah,
because God forbid, New York alone, Jesus, Mahalia Jackson, the Christ, of what we do, I'll be nice of a number. Let's say 1,500, and that's nice. Mm-hmm. I'm being nice within New York City. I'm being nice. Yeah, it's probably more than that.
People literally come here like to get content in front of the red steps or get the dancers or da-da-da. Like, there's so much going on. It's overstimulating, really.
Yo, I want to know from you, being a vet you are, like, what are ways that you try to, like, diffuse the overstimulation? Like, what are things that you...
In what sense?
No, as far as, like...
for myself?
Yeah, for yourself.
Like, how do I stay sane?
Yeah, exactly. No, real talk. That's the thing.
Oh, I disconnect. I've always been like that person, like, oh girl, I'm about to detox for a couple months. I'm about to disconnect for a couple months. I'm about to deactivate for a couple months. Like sometimes you get caught up in the thick of it, like, oh my God, I have this, I have deadlines, I have da, 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 I have goals. But it's like when you kind of like meditate on the fact that shit will be there. It'll be there. Right. And even if it's not there the same way that you left it, right? That just puts you in a position to be better. You know what I mean? And be more creative. And if you are creative, then this is like, it fuels you because it's a challenge now of how to recreate yourself in this space or how to whatever. You know what I mean? So for me, I will disconnect. I will literally go underneath the blanket, get with some hot chocolate, some cookies, and I will binge watch whatever, hopefully SVU. I don't know what's going on with SVU, but SVU takes too many breaks for me. But Law and Order me down. If it's a good show, I will binge watch a show. Like, I will disconnect. I will go, like, hang out with my family, my little cousins, like, and just touch grass, like, do real things. Connect with my friends that I've known since, like, elementary or college or whatever, like, and just have real human interactions.
Yes.
As opposed to like staying in the matrix and staying in the loop, because when you're in the loop, it's a loop. Like, you're on a hamster wheel. So you have to like take a break, please.
Yeah. No, I can definitely relate to that. Like, as before we even recorded my careers, I had let Silva know I had just recently moved to Jersey, but the reason why I moved to Jersey was for my sanity and peace.
Yeah.
Being that because, being that I was in Harlem and everything like that. So anything that was happening in the city thereof, it was there. And even feeling the pressure of that, feeling the pressure, like, just I have to be there. I got to show my face. I would leave work, my career, let y'all know, city worker still, with the youth and everything like that. All right, boom, leave, 3:00. All right, get downtown. All right, wait in line, or, VIP, or, hey, somebody let me in. All right, let me in. Cover event, do that, go back home. All right, do a little editing while I'm on my way home. Okay, shower, this, that, another.
Yeah.
Now I'm at work and everything like that. Now it's back at it again. So I agree with you with that. Like, and for me, I want to say the last 6 years.
Yeah.
Like 6 to 7 years, I've been really doing self-care days. Mm-hmm. I've been on it. Like, I'll be like, I'll go to Little Italy. There's a restaurant I go to in Little Italy. Boom, go away in the corner, shades on or whatever. Have my little meal and everything like that to myself. Or shit, I may go on like a city treat. You know what I'm saying? Go to the Edge or go to the Whitney and just like detach, from this industry. Because people don't understand, this ain't for the weary. Like, if you don't do those type of things, you could like fizzle out, real quick. And the thing for me as a creative, like coming into this, I never want to come into this half-ass or just half energy or just stale. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm hurting the culture doing that.
Yeah.
Versus, okay, Remo approve, it's go time. Great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what's always been to me. But no, definitely, definitely internet. Let's be honest, Publicists today, are they still the gatekeepers or just professional emailers going forward with better fonts?
With better fonts.
I know, right?
What?
Remo right, Brett team. We're going crazy in pre-productions.
That is so funny. I think that a lot of people don't see the value in publicists. And I think that's what's hurting that like area. But all of like everyone has a publicist. The MTA has a publicist.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so for certain people to think that they don't need one, that's okay. Just do it yourself. And then go as far as you can. And then when you get to that door, call a publicist. You know what I mean? But not to say that aren't people who kind of take advantage of the situation, and they might bite off more than they can chew, like in terms of promising things that maybe they already know they can't do, and kind of just like fluffing it through and trying to get like, oh, well, let me just get to the end of these 3 months or whatever. Like, that exists. But at the same time, that's competing now with the person who actually wants to put the pedal to the metal and like has like looks for you and has like ideas for you, and you kind of like want them to do all of the work for free, and that person still has to eat and pay their bills.
Yo.
And travel to you. And people will literally let you starve in this industry if you don't speak up for yourself or if you don't say no. I think no is the most powerful like tool you can have in this industry. Like, once you start saying no, or this might not be possible, or like this might take time, like when you start kind of curving people's expectations and bringing them back to reality, like that's when you gain more control of the situation. But the competing forces is the people who want to be paid and that are not doing anything, and the people who should be paid who are doing a lot.
Yeah, see, I want to know from you, like, how do you, sorry about that, how does that get diffused? Because on one hand, you know what I'm saying, the vetting process is not there per se, right? Because unfortunately numbers cloud the judgment, or what's deemed as motion clouds the judgment as well. So then now it's like, okay, what does that person, even if you do say no, but then the no in a way will hurt you because, okay, word travels around fast around here in this, you know what I'm saying? Then they try to put bullshit narratives on your name and stuff like that. So when does a person or a publicist themselves really have to put their foot down to set their mark?
Yeah. I think that you kind of just have to like find that one that'll let you do your job, and then it'll like prove everybody wrong. Because when you build a relationship with your client and they actually trust you, that's when it works. It's kind of like similar to the artist and producer. Like, you need, all of the successful people, they're like, oh my God, I love their music. Sometimes they have the same producer that they sit down and work with, like Drake, like, you know, like they have that person they like. Even Fergie Baby, like,
shout out your Fergie Baby. You gotta pull up to the pod, bro.
Yeah,
really?
He's locked in with his producer, and they continue because they learn each other. He learns how he records. He learns the songs and the beats that best fit his vocals and his style. And they didn't go out and start doing drill. They didn't go out and start doing random things. They stuck to the plan, and now it's paying off. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, it's something like that. Like, I know who else can even with his publicist, Jazz. Shout out to Jazz. She's the one who introduced him to everybody. I didn't know of Fergie Baby until she was walking around literally like this, like, this is my client, blah, 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 like years ago. And she's still with him to this day. That's what makes success. When you invest in each other and you have an agreement, whatever the agreement may be. Maybe the agreement is like, oh, you know, when things pop off, whatever it is, like, you just building with somebody, it'll show and prove. But for everything else, like, man, the fee is the fee. If you're not going to pay the fee, then find somebody else that would. There's always somebody that would. which is part of the problem. But at the end of the day, it depends on whose problem it is. Now, you as a client, if you want quick, easy results, try to do it yourself, because that's just the era that we're in. Especially if you have motion, you might be able to reach out to DSPs yourself, or reach out to, whatever media platforms or whatever bloggers or whoever. Like, build your own relationships, go to events, build your own relationships with these platforms, and you won't need a publicist until you need one. But there's there's levels to everything. So depending on what level you want to go to, that's who you got to rub shoulders with, the people that's playing in that field.
Yeah, that's what's up. I want to actually touch on that. Has algorithm replaced the publicist, or did publicists just become part-time content creators?
You think publicists are content creators now?
I don't think that, but I feel
like they're making content for themselves, like they're in the content.
I've seen a couple. I mean,
what do you mean?
It's been kind of shaky. It's been kind of shaky.
Like they're the clients now?
Yeah, it's been kind of shaky. It's been kind of shaky, son.
My God.
It's been kind of shaky a little bit. But I want to know from you, what say you?
Everybody wants to be seen. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, for a long time, publicists were behind. Like, you didn't see who the person's publicist was. And you was just like an agency. You didn't know. Like, it was like this big mystery. If you wanted to, like, contact somebody because you wanted to either interview them or like go to this event, whatever, like the publicist email was like a golden egg that you had to like seek out. But I think, especially what I've seen in like New York, maybe Atlanta, is like the publicist wants their credit. So I think that kind of is what kind of shifted them to being more in the limelight. But then you have publicists who are also creatives, like who've been creatives. And they do publicity because of the passion. Like, they like selling products. They like selling people and, working with whatever type of talent. But it's like deep inside of them, something is like burning when the artists themselves is not taking advantage of their position. Even like they'll put them in a position and watch them fumble it. It's disheartening sometimes. I'm assuming, you know what I mean? So it's like, I'm watching you fumble all these plays. So what are we doing here? You know what I mean? But overall, I think it's that, like, they're creatives themselves, and they want their credit. They want to be seen. And then you got to go back to the fact that some people aren't getting paid, or they're not getting paid enough. So it's like, to offset the money that I'm not getting, the least you could do, or the least they feel like they can do, is put themselves on camera, right, or on paper, or in certain rooms and whatever, because that's how they're going to get their next client or their next situation. Or even if it's like brand contacts, like, they need to know to speak to me. I think that's a lot of what's going on, but that's funny as hell.
No, I'm just shout to the Remo brand scene. But no, I get that question in a sense, because at the end of the day, it goes back to what we kind of talked about earlier, beginning in this episode, that because of what technology has brought its influence on, right? So now it's like, okay, yeah, well, an artist may feel, all right, well, if the algorithm, I don't really need you, or whatever. And then, God forbid, if they do get somebody and they still have a great algorithm, they'll damn near use that publicist as a pawn. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, pawn, here you go. Yeah. Stay right there. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. I get it with a publicist in a sense. We'll take that mindset, go, all right, hold on. You know what? Nah, I need to be seen too. Here I go.
And work in the room.
What it is. This is what it is. This is what I do. I'm so-and-so. This is my client. Yell it out loud.
Put me in your bio.
Put me in your bio. You know what I'm saying? I get it. All right. In 2026, is a relationship with media code for I know who answers the DMs fast? Yo.
I know who answers the DMs fast?
Yo.
What? Well, all right, look, when it comes to DM situations, There's so many different reasons why somebody will answer a DM fast, I guess. Like, especially, like, I know a lot of publicists are women. So it's like, oh, it's a pretty lady in my DM. Let me answer them. You know what I mean? But aside from that, like, relationship with media is that, like, you have a list of media contacts that you either invite to to events that you build a connection with, or like you literally go through it, like whether it's LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever, and you're looking for who's connected to what and who does what and what's their email or number or blah, 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 blah. And you create like your database behind that. But that's the relationship with media in terms of on paper, like having that person's number, name, and contact, whether it's through research or through you meeting them, shaking their hand and like taking their information, right? And then like the next level to that is like, we've built a rapport to where like, I know that if I'm a media personality, I know that you want coverage for the situation. You might have access to other clients or other situations that I want access to. So I'm going to come cover this event for you. I'm going to interview your client because I want to have access to those other things. And then on the other end, as a publicist, I need the word to be out about my client, product, or event or whatever. So if you come in, like, yeah, like if you want to ask me for other things, you can ask me for other things because that needs coverage too. Media is the message. So however these messages, well, I can't say however, but as many people that can spread this message is the better. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's what it should be. Like, that's a relationship. Relationships go both ways. You know what I mean? As opposed to I have a contact, I have a relationship means that we fulfill something for each other.
Right. And also too, I want to know from you, like, as far as the vetting system goes, right? Do you feel like today in 2026, the vetting system is almost equivalent to how with event coordinators with showcases? Do you feel like the risk is like almost the same per se? Like as far as like, I shout out to Kanika. We had talked about it on the episode. Like she was saying, it was like pulling straws. You know what I'm saying? When it came to picking out the right artists to do the showcase or the concert or whatever. So I want to know from you, being in that position that you have been, and you can speak on both sides of it, being an emerging personally and also a publicist. Do you feel like that's been the case as far as when it comes to like maybe like a listening event or like a rollout or like a
like how do you pick the person?
Yeah, in that regard, in the vetting process.
So, all right, me personally, I feel like you have to like the person's content, like their music. Now there is this space where you don't, you know what I mean? Like obviously you don't. You could just put in a formula, like you have a formula for how you do things. Put that person's whatever in the formula and see if it goes. You know what I mean? Like see how many people reach. Sometimes based on the formula, it'll do something anyways, right? But if you actually like the music and like the content, like the product, like the event, like the whatever, it just makes your brain, like me personally, like, it just makes your brain just start going do. Like I have so many ideas, like let's do this like that, like da, da, da. Like you're more like, honestly, I feel like there's a reluctancy when it's just like, it's not good, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think the proper vetting process is like everything has to match up. Like again, it's like another relationship. Like you should be kind of equally yoked unless you're going to somebody who has a formula that they're going to implement and they're just here for the numbers. You know what I mean? Like they're just moving things around. And that's a lot of people, especially if they have an agency. I've worked with like different agencies. That's kind of how agencies work. Like it's like, all right, we need clients. The clients need to blah, 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 blah. We put it in the formula, blah, 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 blah. But if I'm personally getting involved in something, because I don't do too much. Like I don't go out and like seek certain people. Like the people that I've worked with on my own, that's because I actually genuinely like fuck with them.
Right.
Yeah. And I see like a vision for them that either they're not seeing or they just haven't like really like unlocked yet. And I'm like, all right, let's do this. And then they start moving. Now, sometimes they start moving and they move away from you, which is fine. I think that everything has a time, you know what I mean? Like everything has a level. So if you feel like you've reached a point where you should move on, absolutely move on. I will never stop anybody from doing anything. Like you just have to accept things for what they are, right? But I just believe that you got to go through that person's like history. Like have you ever worked with anybody? What have they done for you? Do you have any links out? Do you have any media out already? Have you ever done an interview, whether like in person, on camera, or like written? Then you might have to go through like media training, which again, not a lot of people does. But for me, if I'm going to put you in a space to be on camera or in an interview, I got to know you know how to do an interview. Because, yeah, you could have, like, candid moments, or if you want to be like, well, scratch this whole thing, I'm going to just say anything and, you know, go back to that whole clip farming thing. But you should at least have some type of base to where it's a decision being made, as opposed to now you feel attacked in the interview when the person's just asking questions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, because definitely you hit it right on the nail. I feel that's been kind of a missing component for quite some time, right? Because granted, regardless of the type of client you have, right, you have to match and see the platforms that are adequate for them to like promote themselves on. You know what I'm saying? Especially
and do they have a story? Like what's the story? What are we talking about? You know what I mean? Like, is it just the music? Does the music mean something? Does it come from somewhere? Do you have like a background? Like what are we spreading? What's the message here?
No, true. And then also too, I feel that's why the connection between publicists and media has been so unique and bounded, because at the end of the day, y'all, for us, you know what I'm saying, it has to be a connection because, you know, we're displaying your client. And also too, I feel the better that platform is, the less damage control on your end for your client. You know, I think that's hugely key. That's why even here with Cuts, I think that's the reason why I've done this platform the way I've done it for the years I've had it, because I know in the back of my head, whomever I got to work with, I've worked with you many years. Shout out to Lamar, or shout out to Jazz. You know, the one thing y'all always knew from me straight up was, if I bring my client to Remo, my client's good. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I know this is a business. Okay, yeah, I could do antic shit and all that. That's great. That's cool and all, I guess. But at the end of the day, what's the long haul? What's the end game? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not going to be cool, because if I see y'all at an event, y'all going to come at me. And it's not coming at me like whatever, but it's like, yo, Remo, like, we hold you in a certain regard. Like, come on, this is my client, bro, or whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying?
Or
and
you
I
can
see y'all a lot.
blackball yourself. Like,
exactly.
You know what I mean? Doing certain, like, stunts. Like, now it's like, all right, well, I'm never bringing anybody to him. And some people might spread the news like, yeah, he's out of it.
Yeah, and I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? I've even seen it on the red carpets. I'm just be like, yo, bro, like, what irks me the most is like the platforms, if you're on the red carpet, I get it, you have a report, but the ones that like to do the super podcast questions on red carpets, it's like, damn, it's like, yo, you gotta wait in the line and they come and here you go. And because they did dickhead shit, that's the part, I don't know about you, but that shit irks the shit out of me. Because the 3-4 platforms ahead of you did dickhead shit. Now here you come, and now you gotta hold the weight of the Jerkimus Prime idiots ahead of you. Like, you know what I'm saying, of what they did. I want to know from you,
So what's happening there is like, those platforms were already like pre-selected to do that client, especially if it's like a bigger client. They were already pre-selected. Like, this is the bigger look. This is what's going to like do numbers, and like back end, it's just a better look. So they're pre-selected. And then a lot of times, like, that platform might not get the opportunity to interview that person or to ask certain questions based on the environment. So they're taking their opportunity as if it's a one-on-one sit down. and they're going to ask the questions that they would have asked if this was like a studio space. So I think it's I hate it too. Like I've been on the end where it's like, oh my God, like I'm waiting for this person to come down the carpet, and this person is, and we know who they are. We know who those people are.
Oh man.
We know who those platforms are. And we love those platforms.
Right.
But it's like, dang, like you just took all the air out of the room and nobody else can breathe now because
Air is not understatement.
now they're escorting the client off of the off of the carpet. It's annoying, but it's like it's all a game. Yeah. And that's why you really do have to have your mind right, because this thing will spin you. It will spin you. And it's also, again, it goes back to relationships. Like if you, like I remember CultureCon, I was there covering for The Source, the last one. And The Source, you think like, oh, The Source, oh. But no.
Yeah.
I think they did what? Well, I won't name the platforms, but they did like some people that you like really wanted either walked past and didn't do the carpet at all, and some of them did like the select view, and then you're standing there, you're like, But I like kind of like built relationships with the ladies that was there, so they're like, oh, I know you want this person, so sometimes they will bring the person to you if there's an escort on the carpet. Now sometimes there's either no escort on the carpet,
Jesus Christ,
and then sometimes like I've heard a lot of people complain about what the person looks like on the carpet versus what the media looks like, you know what I mean, and the representation there. And I think that's important to mention too, that sometimes you'll get overlooked because you're quote unquote a black platform.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Nasty work. Yeah, like there's a lot of like politics there. But the reign of the carpet is on that publicist that's covering the carpet, or that publicity like agency or team. And it starts from when you check in as a media correspondent, journalist, whatever. Though that team works together with the talents teams and whatever, and they coordinate what platforms they want. That's why they ask you to register ahead of time, like so they know who's coming. They already know who they want to speak to who, and if you don't build a relationship, or if you're not known, even if you're a small platform, like I've seen small, quote unquote, small platforms, because the person is a nice, sweet, outgoing person, they get interviews because of who they are right then and there, as opposed to who they're representing in terms of the platform. So it's all about relationships. It's all politics. It's, yeah, you gotta. Yeah, that my creatives. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, building relationships is key.
Yeah.
Being consistent is key.
For sure.
Shit, etiquette is highly key.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, and also too, you gotta know when to hit, when to strike.
Absolutely, I was gonna say that. Like, you have to be able to control your temper, and that's something that like I learned later, like years later, because before it was given like bully into the situation, and it worked, but that was that time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
We're in a different space.
Oh my God.
We're in the bully space.
Shit.
We're not in the bully space anymore, where you could bully yourself
Even
into
if the
a
way
situation.
you say "excuse me" will get you, like blackballed.
Yeah. Like, excuse me, you're with who?
Right.
Now anybody who's associated with you might be cooked
Dubsky.
too.
Yeah, Dubsky.
So,
super Dubsky.
Yeah.
And I've seen it. I've seen it. I'm like, ooh. Damn. That's why I ain't gonna lie. Even for me, there's been times like, all right, I ain't gonna lie. I have been listening to events where, all right, Remo, you're gonna be like 5th or 6th. All right, cool. But I ain't gonna lie. I use it as a motivated thing. I'm like, all right, cool. I'll be 5th, 6th, no problem. And some other platforms look at you like, all right, okay,
yeah.
Here we go. Then I get up. Hey, Remo Morales. The Rugas. Damn. You know what I'm saying? Because look, I'm respectful. I'm really respectful. Am I competitive? Yes, but I'm respectful at the same time. So I know what can be of my energy and the boisterousness. And then I'm always thinking about even the person behind me. The person
Yeah.
ahead of me is like, all right, person ahead of me, well, but the person behind me, yeah, I think about them too, because at the end of the day, I don't want them losing out, or for that matter, I don't want them to hold the pressure from me of what I've done for them, for their platform. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I do? I literally would be like, after I ask the question and the person answer, I'm like, oh, thank you so much, whatever. And then I'll be like, you're going to go to this, like, I'll literally tell them, like,
I've seen
okay,
that. I can attest to that. I've seen you do that.
Yeah. Like,
I've been on carpets with you.
Sure, because, like, again, it's about, like, reaching back and, like, helping the person next to you, whether they're bigger platform, smaller platform, by themselves, it's like it didn't hurt me to do that, you know what I mean? And then in terms of, like, being, like, 5th or 6th or, like, 99th, like, what I've just learned about being in a space is that fuck all of that, you know what I mean? Like, forget when you get to speak. When you speak, you do your thing. I've been in a lot of situations where, like, I'm like running in the door, like I'm late, like whatever the case may be. But as soon as I get there, everybody is eyes on me. Like, they recording over my interview, damn near about to put my content out because my questions hit, because of how I'm interacting with the client or the interviewer. Like shut the room down. You know what I mean? So when your mic is on, is hot, give it, like, do your thing.
Yes. Let's go into this one. Over the last 15 years, the impact of women in media has increased immensely. Does that show real power shift in the culture, or just better branding and optics?
Women are better.
Okay. No, hey, listen, speaking.
Women,
that's okay.
All right, so women been better. No, we control a lot of things because, like, women have been for years and counting the higher educated sex, right? Black women specifically are, like, highly educated, and we don't get as many opportunities as we should. So, in me speaking for myself, if I could speak on behalf of all women, y'all give me that right, I will. But when we get in that room, a lot of times we go above and beyond. So it's like we're not normal. We've never been normal because we've never had the opportunity to be regular. Like, there's no regular. We have to be extraordinary, and we've done that. And now it's embedded in us to be the best we can be at whatever it is that we're doing. So when we talk about culture shift, like, we are the culture. Like, a lot of things stem from us, whether it's men putting on wigs to make fun of us and now they're viral because they have, like, this girl personality, or how we dress. Look at Olandria. Like, Olandria is literally putting on, shout out to the Love Island fans out there. Like, Olandria drops a picture and shuts the internet down. Like, they're waiting on her every move. Mm-hmm. That's not because she was on Love Island. That's because she was who she was, and she's getting the viewership now because of Love Island. She's been her. So it's like, and she's educated. She's pushing HBCUs. She's pushing tech, and then she's killing like, it's like, that's like one of a great example of how Black women just exist in these spaces. And if you look at Love Island, people made it seem like they didn't want her and she was, like, last picked almost. She's the it girl right now. So we're the culture. We're the standard. We're the blueprint. We're mother.
Yeah, that's what's up. No, hey, listen. I'm highly confident in myself, but I will not be foolish to say that as far as when it comes to media and entertainment, the increase of women empowerment and thus of the influence has not been powerful. I mean, yes, don't get me wrong. All right, the relationship podcast, I've seen you, great, cool, whatever. I'm not going to go to that battle or whatever. Yes. But when it comes to entertainment, I mean, it is what it is.
But you have to think about this. A lot of the opportunities, and I don't know the answer to this. I'm just think about it. Like, whether you're in the audience or whether, a lot of opportunities that you get, or a shoulder or a support or whatever, who is on the other side of that? A lot of the times it's a Black woman that's coming to your rescue in whatever space that it may be. That's what the truth is. Whether it's commenting online, and like we are more dominant when it comes to like being a consumer. Black women are spending their money.
Right.
When it comes to selling music, you have to cater to women.
Yeah.
You have to.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Yo, my creatives, that's a fact.
Even if it's like toxic, I'm a recovering toxic myself, so I know. Like, even if it's a toxic space, like, you still kind of have to anchor it towards women. Like, you do. We are the consumers. We're the ones spending money. We're the ones supporting. And we're the ones saying no now. Like, that goes back to what I was saying before. We control a lot of things, but we're just not put in position a lot. You know what I mean?
But also, too, with that position, though, right? Even though I get it in a sense, right? Because, yes, there's still male-dominated spaces per se. But it's...
that women are operating
on, right.
Yeah.
But do you feel that if that was to switch, right? Let's say that does switch and that does happen. Do you feel that would make things better, or is it more one of those things of, okay, it was just a time for this to happen?
Like, what do you mean? Like, would it not work out?
Well, I want to say not work out. I'm not going to go at that rate,
right.
But I'm just saying, let's say green light to go. Now the women are fully in power, right? I want to know from you, do you feel like that's going to be a better scenario, or is it one of those things that, all right, God damn it, this finally happened in that regard?
I think that it's, in some spaces, it's happening. Like, there are a lot of Black women, you know, CEOs, and there are a lot of Black women who are, you know, kind of, even if they're not the head of the situation, they're the wheels of the situation. I think what needs to match is just the payment and the credit. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's not necessarily about like, oh, like if women are in control of it all, like we don't have to be in control of it all for us to deserve what we deserve. We deserve more. We deserve more money. We deserve more credit. We deserve more respect. We deserve more protection. We deserve more. We just deserve more. So to me, it's like I can't really say like, oh, it's the thing like, oh, finally, whatever. I think that the more space we're given, the more space we're going to take up. So it's either you give it or we're going to take it.
That's fair. No, that's fair. If that's what you feel, no, that's fair. I'm not gonna listen. Trust me. Like I said in the beginning of this, like I said, I'm confident of who I am.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not one to be on the well. Y'all still gotta respect, man. I mean, yes, respect is respect.
Oh.
Respect is respect. But also too, I'm not gonna be one to stop or want to stop what y'all doing. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, over the years, that's been the case. Like, okay, let's go back. Let's take it back to 20 years ago. Let's take it back 2 decades ago. Okay. You want to put it? Fine. You want to put it? It was here. Okay. 2015. Let's say 2015. Okay. Okay. All right, now another decade, 2026. It's kind of here. Sometimes it may be here. It depends on how it goes in the quarter. It may fluctuate, it may not fluctuate. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, to deny what y'all have done, no, I don't think that should be the case.
But it's not a competition, though.
No, right.
Like, and I think that might be a part of the problem. Like, it's not a competition. Like, we're not trying to compete with men. We're trying to coexist in certain spaces. You know what I mean? Like, we know how to work together. So it's about like, you know, and you can speak to the male ego not feeling threatened by, you know, the women dominating the spaces that they're in and feeling like that means that they're less than. It doesn't mean that you're less than. It just means that we've come a long way and we deserve what we're at, and we deserve more. You know what I mean? Like, there's talking about getting rid of the 14th Amendment and child.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's wild. No, it's wild. No, it's wild business. Let's go to this next one. No, I hate. I think that'd be a whole another episode. I ain't gonna lie. But no, real talk. But let's go with this. Is women empowerment in media always genuine, or has it become a marketing trend?
I actually think that there's less fluff now than there was a point where I did feel like everybody's talking about women empowerment, but there wasn't any actual there wasn't an actual movement happening.
Right.
But I don't know. I feel like we've come a ways from that, because, you know, you kind of have to hold the mirror up to certain people like, girl, you is not a girl's girl. And sometimes that mirror is being held up to you like, ooh, did I hold space for a woman today? Like, did I, in this scenario, did I hold space for women? Like, did I do all I can in this situation to like put a woman, you know, put this woman or that woman on or whatever. So I don't think it's being used as a marketing tool. I think that people are actually trying to empower women now. It feels less disingenuous than it was at one point. I don't know. I can't even pinpoint what the timeline was, but it just felt like this was like years ago. It felt like there was a women's empowerment brunch here and a women's that
right.
But after the brunch, then what? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel the follow-up was the questioning on that, because
right.
You could have an abundance of these type of events, but then again, it's like, okay, where's the follow-up? Is it leading to the goal? Are women going to stay on this standard going forward? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, I feel like not everybody's the same. Like, not everyone has the same values or same mission. So there might be somebody who's more for like women empowerment, and somebody, you know, just wants to put on a nice fit and go and take pictures and be cute. And I think that there's a world where everybody can exist in the same space. We could all be cute together. And then whoever wants to keep pushing forward in collaboration and empowerment, that's where you occupy. Like, that's where you dominate, and that's where you continue, you know, to push. But we have to, again, manage our expectations when it comes to everything. But right. I like what's going on right now. I think the girls are girling. All
right, that's up. We're going to go to this one more question, then we're going to zoom straight to bars or cap. All right, in NYC, do you feel it's NYC events are losing their soul, or did they just get sponsored into submission?
You said sponsored into submission? Mm-hmm. Ooh, I mean, a lot of my no's have been happening for these events. Like, I don't even know what's going on anymore, like, half the time. Like, New York City events are for visitors, I feel like, you know, or for like, I think newer artists or like emerging talent, emerging media, emerging, like, again, everything has its time. I think that, you know, one can evolve out of that space and still visit, because home is home, right? Like, it's nice to reunite with all of your media friends and people that you've been doing this with. It's nice to reunite sometimes, but I think that a lot of that space should be kept for like newer audiences, like in newer people. I'm not personally like running to an event now, just because I feel like it's like similar formats, so I don't feel like I'm missing anything per se. But then again, like, my missions are different, my goals are different, where I'm at in my career is different than that person that's like budding and wants to connect or like meet, whatever. I always encourage people to, like, you know, especially summer hits, like, go to as many events as you can.
Right.
When I was in my like younger years, I was literally like, what, sleep? Like, we're at this event for this amount of time. We're going to that event. We're going to that event. We're going to every event. Period. Every event has open bar. Everyone they have food. They have it's a vibe. but you should have what you want the rest of your career to look like. And if it looks like staying in that space or graduating into being now the producer of that space, that's a look. If it's, being in that space and just you kind of staying there because you want to take on new talent, you want to meet the newer generation, that's cool as well. Like, I feel like, again, like, there's room for everybody to exist. Now, me personally, it's a no.
Yeah, no,
I'm not going.
Yeah, right. No, I ain't gonna lie. I think, I don't know, I'm gonna take it to last one that you and I were at. I believe it was a movie premiere. I think it was a Netflix movie premiere. And I think you and I, I think we simultaneously got there like early or whatever. And we was like, oh, nah, fuck that. We going to the front. Fuck this.
Yeah.
Or whatever, right? But I feel like based on, because we both paid our dues and whatever, we was just on a whole different, like, all right.
This is the Will Ferrell one?
Yes.
I think that's Amazon.
Yes.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah, sorry about that. But I felt your energy as far as like, all right, let's get this going. Who I gotta meet with. I think we met with one of the people that was running the program, whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, we got my content. All right, I'm out. I'm out skis.
Yeah.
See you later. You know what I'm saying?
And that was a good event because I've never met Will Ferrell before. And damn, I forgot the lady's name.
Oh my God.
Legally Blonde.
Yes. Not Heather Grant. No, the other one. Reese Witherspoon. Yes. Yeah. So I got my clip and went viral, and that's just that. We leave that there.
Yes.
Yeah,
it was a good time. I really enjoyed the movie as well. Movies is different because I consume that. Like I said, like I'm a binge watcher. I love movies. I love TV. I love film. So if it's like a good, like that was a good one, because sometimes you go to comedies and it's not it.
Yeah, don't be hitting.
But Will Ferrell is like, Reese Witherspoon, come on, like they did their big one with that one.
They definitely did that thing in that movie. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to it. Bars of Cap, my creators. You know what Bars of Cap is? It's the segment that we play with our guests here on Cuts, where I throw scenarios at them and they agree. Bar, they agree. Cap is pretty much self-explanatory as Cap. You ready to go? Ready? Let's rock and roll.
I don't gotta explain. I just bars the
cap. You can explain. You gotta explain. Yeah, a little bit. Not too crazy. We gotta explain. All right. Publicists are more important than managers in 2026. Bars or cap?
Damn, I don't know, because sometimes the two positions overlap. Like sometimes the manager plays the role of like everything. And sometimes your publicist does that. Like they'll take on the manager. So I can't.
Come on, son. Come on, son. You scared?
I'm going to have to say
Silva's
Cap.
Why Cap?
I'm going to have to say Cap.
All right, Cap?
Yeah, because I just know too many people that, especially when you're outside with a client, like it's more than just like doing media and introducing them. Like sometimes you're literally like, not babysitting, because I don't want to like say that, but like sometimes you literally have to manage like their life. And like, okay, like after being outside with you and after doing this with you, after talking to you, I feel like this and this and this needs to happen. And it's like a borderline. Like it's like a borderline. So I'm gonna say Cap though.
All right. If your rollout needs media, it's already weak. Bars or Cap?
What? If your rollout needs media, it's already what?
It's if your rollout needs media, it's already weak. Bars or Cap?
All right, that's Cap. That's Cap.
Right.
That's Cap.
I was gonna say bar, but
that's not a bar.
I'm saying. I mean,
no. But the rollout is the media though. Like
True.
That's a part of the media. Media is not just doing interviews or getting a write up. Like the rollout, the publicist does the rollout.
Okay. Are you sure? All right.
Well, I won't say always, because sometimes there are really creative artists, but usually it's either the publicist or it's a collaboration. Maybe sometimes the artist, but the rollout is a part of a publicist's job.
My crabs, we're not believing that, right?
It is.
Chat GPT, you heard?
No. Cap.
NYC nightlife is just networking with louder music. Bars or Cap?
This is a lot of Cap.
Why Cap?
You said NYC parties?
No, yeah, nightlife. It's just networking with louder music.
You can't really network with all that loud music. You going outside to catch a vibe.
No, right. But I'm just, I mean, you know. Back in the days, cats was networking back in the days.
I mean, you can network. It depends on what kind of network you doing. Like, if you go, if you go to, what is it? Like, if you go to the strip club, like, you know it's going to be a lot of hot artists. So maybe you could tap in. Like, if you're an artist, you could tap in with another artist, get a feature or whatever. Because y'all simultaneously throwing dollars up and just catching a vibe. Like, yo, right. I'm going to get more bottles for us, whatever. And that's like building a relationship. So I guess you could say that's like networking. But if you outside in a nightlife, unless it's like a specific event, you're vibing.
Right.
You're vibing.
That's so. Going viral once is more valuable than any year of PR strategy. Bars a cap.
Cap.
Why cap?
That's cap.
Why cap?
Because you could go viral and nobody knows you. Nobody goes to your page. Nobody, like, you just went viral and that's a video that went viral. It don't have nothing to do with you per se.
Right.
Like, if you're consistent and you keep going viral, now it's like, oh, okay, whatever. Unless it's like something that went crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like the girl that said, if you want me.
Right.
Nah, nah. But again, we don't know her name. We don't know anything about her. The video went viral. Mm-hmm. So if we see her in that fit, we're going to be like, oh, that's that girl that did whatever. But we don't have, like, she didn't sell us anything. We didn't buy anything because of her. Yeah, there's no story. There's nothing.
Blah.
Yeah, no.
All right. That's what's up. All right. Most industry events are just ego conventions. Bars a cap.
What? These, okay. New York City.
Yeah.
Is an ego convention.
Yes. Times 9,000.
You don't need an event for that.
Listen, let me tell you.
You could accidentally bump somebody in the shoulder and you see what's going on.
Listen. I don't know if I told you. I don't know. I think I did tell you thank you at the event. Mm-hmm. The joint that you and JB did in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Yo, you saved the shit out of me because I was online. I respected it. I stood online or whatever. Yo.
This was which one? Was this the community service one or?
Yeah, the one where you was giving out sneakers. The Reebok.
Okay. Yes.
Yo, that shit was ego convention times 9 trillion, because I'm on the line.
The people on the line.
I'm like, so I'm hearing these niggas, whatever. So when you picked me up, right, you got me. It's like, Remo, you good, yeah. They was going off. Like,
you talking about the people that was like with us?
No, not
the
inside.
People on the line.
Yeah, and then even somewhat a little bit like the people that were with us inside. I was just like, you should be happy, like. He was able to be in here or something. But that's an example of that question though. Am I lying?
Yeah. You see the real people, like who's really like down to do anything for anything if you give away free stuff, especially free sneakers.
That was diabolical. There was a couple people.
The things that people were doing, like
I said, like this is a charity event.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. It's a charity event for those in need. Like, look at what you have on right now. You don't need this, bro. Like, come on, bro. Like, you just want to, and that's the thing. That is a thing. I say that is a thing. Like, some people just want to be there to be there, like, as opposed to like leaving that opportunity for somebody who needs to be there. Like, you see the same person at every event just because they're known as the person at every event, not because the situation makes sense for them.
I know of those crews. Yeah, those crews, they know, you crews know who you are. Y'all be wildin'. I'm not gonna lie to you. Y'all be wildin'.
What? I'm not gonna put, not like, come on, it's no put to the side. This is a community service. For those in need, there's people with no shoes on. Like, oh my God, I've seen winter, like people with no shoes, and I just be thinking to myself, like, I can't believe somebody that be at every event took sneakers.
Wildness.
And there's people with no shoes on in
Wildness.
New York City.
Last one, and we're gonna go with the closeout question. The creative scene in NYC is just recycled people and recycled ideas. Bars of cap.
I mean, it sound like the way it's phrased is meant to be shady, but I think that's bars.
Right. Why
I
bars?
do think that's bars because, like, there's only so much as a large number that you could create new from, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are the innovators, there are the inventors, there are people, you know what I mean? Like, but overall, I feel like a lot of times people see something that works and they just do it over because it's easier. Not because, maybe it's not even because they can't do it, but it's easier. Like, oh, I see a whole bunch of people doing like showcases, so I'm gonna do showcases because I seen this person pocket whatever, like, or I'm gonna do like my artist release party like this because I already seen it work. You know what I mean? But you do tap into some new people. Sometimes you get the same old people, and it's like whatever. It works. It works for who it works for.
Yeah, no, true. Listen, at the end of the day, my creatives, listen, if you are going to throw an event, I mean, it's best to do research. And then if you're doing a series of your events, it is key to really like hone in and know what worked.
Yeah.
At
That's
the end
why
of the day.
I'm not knocking it. I think like people feed off of certain things, you know what I mean? So it's like, it's certain things, even if you have a whole cluster of things that you do, there's certain things that you kind of have to do.
Right.
Like if you doing an event, 9 times out of 10, you have to have liquor, you know what I mean? Or beverages or refreshments or whatever. You have to, even if it's like bites, you should have that like in your arsenal.
Well, some of them be.
But those are the in and outs like that. You don't want me here for real. Like it's just in and out. You don't want to keep but if you want to keep people at an event
to speak about the experience,
yeah, you have to have refreshments. Like,
yo, I feel you. All right, close out. If you had to choose one, what do you think is actually the win in 2026? Connections, clout, or consistency?
Damn, that's hard because I want to say connections, but I feel like consistency, like I think that even because of social media, if you don't consider like your followers or whatever a connection, you know, no offense, but like if you're not counting that as a connection, if you're consistent on social media in whatever niche that you're in this time, you're Gucci. Like it'll pay off eventually. Like shout out to my boy Breezy. Not to say he doesn't have connections, he has connections. He does like comedic like skits and comedy and stuff like that. And he locked in so crazy. He drops like probably double, triple, quadruple the amount of videos that he used to. And he's seeing like it's paying off tremendously in terms of numbers and in terms of like, you know, when social media like pays you and stuff like that. And then he's building his fan base because they're waiting for that next video now. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So you can literally lock in like that should be an option. Like locking in 2026 is the winner. So consistency, just to go with one of the options, I'll say consistency.
Now that's what's up. All right, so you already know. Look into your camera. Let everybody know where to follow you at.
You can follow me at King Silvy, KingSilvy, because it's the right thing to do on majority of platforms. If it's not that on the platform, then I probably don't want you to follow me anyways. No, I love you. I'm kidding.
You already know what it is, my creatives. It's another edition of Cuts. You know what I'm saying? Follow me on everything. Remo Marak _ Culture Urban Tech and Sports _ iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google, Apple, DJ Chase Radio, FM. You know what I'm saying? You know how this goes, kid. You know how we sign off. Hands over the eyes. It's the one, baby. It's the 2 up. Turn our 2 over. Ruger's up. You already know what it is, man. And that's peace.
This in New York sound like we in the garden, huh? Everybody with a check ain't certified. If you look behind these shades, you see a murder house.